You're tuned into Buffalo Bulls Radio. This is UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold, presented by Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill, co-sponsored by Kegworks and A-Turf, brought to you in part by coming to you live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Here's UB head football coach Lance Leipold and assistant athletic director for communications John Fuller.
Good evening and thanks for tuning in UB Football Insider. We're live at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway and live on ESPN 1520. Welcome in now Coach Lance Leipold. And Coach, coming off a game against Boston College where I really thought the defense continues to improve and shows good things. And just talk about the defensive play, 10 tackles for loss in that game. What's going right with the defense right now?
Well, I think they continue to grow and gain executing, and once that happens, the game slows down. They play faster. Good things happen. I think statistically, it was our lowest, held our opponents to lowest rushing per carry, per attempt for the season. Unfortunately, didn't make enough stops and really struggled offensively to get anything going consistently to give us a chance in that game.
Yeah, but I think talking about that defense and stopping the run, I think it all starts up front. And the defensive line, you playing 10 guys consistently rotating in and out. Talk about how that defensive line is really starting to gel right now. Well,
I've always, I think Brian Borland and myself and been together now for over 10 years, and it's the healthier you are up front, the deeper you are in the defensive line, the better chance you have to be a successful defense, because you're going to be able to rotate guys, get pressure on the quarterback. But more importantly, by rotating those bodies, they can hang in there for 4 quarters and then keep the linemen off the second level players, our linebackers, and they get a chance to go make plays.
Yeah, making plays they are. 16 different players with tackles for a loss on the year. Really, is that a product of the system, or is that just guys stepping up and making plays?
Probably a mixture of each. I think the system allows us to. I think we're pretty multiple in what we're doing. We have a lot of movement in a lot of our calls, and then I think the thing that you just had asked about is that it has the on the field, and hopefully we can continue to find ways to rotate them.
Yeah, one of those players is with us tonight, Ishmael Hargrove, part of a really solid linebacking core. You probably coming into the season didn't really know what you had at that position, because essentially you have 3 new starters that the Bulls fans weren't really familiar with, and yet I would say on that defensive side of the ball, the linebackers are probably you 3 of the best defensive players right now between Ishmael Hargrove, Khalil Hodge, and Jared Franklin.
Yeah, I think statistically that's definitely showing it. That's kind of asking which child is your favorite, though. So you got to be careful on how you answer it. And that's because I think the rotation of, the development of Chris Ford up front and Damone Harris, let alone Brandon Crawford, Joe Keels, and, I'm forgetting everyone else I won't mention in the rotation. So when you're rotating all those guys, again, that's helping them. But I've said it multiple times. I've said it this week. I think Ish could at least, when he's on, he could verify some of our text conversations or direct message conversations from last spring. And I was so proud of really, where he on the field of being confident what to do and when to do it and how to do it, and from where he took the last game in November to where he was in April was amazing. And I couldn't be more proud of him, because he took advantage of the opportunity and he's really elevated his game, and that's the part of coaching and development that really is a pleasure, and a lot of people don't always get a chance to see that.
Yeah, talk about some other players in the team that have done that. Talk about Ishmael Hargrove has really elevated his game. What other players in the team have stepped up and kind of surprised you in their development?
Boy, I think last season Chris Ford was one of those guys for us that did that. I think in the secondary. You look at Dev Lamore, where he was from a spring to getting to the fall. Brandon Williams is a guy this season from where he played, and some of his part of his game has been elevated, or some of the defense. Offensively, I think there's numerous guys there. Tyler Mayberry last spring was a guy. KJ Osborne. Malcolm Robinson has been one that I thought through camp, again, as a senior is really is rising to the occasion. Those would be some that I could quickly name.
All right. Well, we're going to up next when we come back. We're going to talk about homecoming week. We have Kent State on Saturday. First we'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're listening to UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold live on ESPN 1520.
Nationwide, call A-Turf their home field. It's what the UB Bulls play on and the Buffalo Bills too. A-Turf Titan has the highest safety rating and the longest warranty. A-Turf, optimal performance for athletes, superior value for owners. Learn more at aturf.com.
Join us at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Hey, it's Paul Santora letting you know we have 2 great locations. One on Millersport Highway next to the Marriott, one on Transit Road next to Transit Lanes. We've got 60 taps, 66 TVs. All of our food is made to order with the freshest and most natural ingredients. Both locations have live music, Millersport on Friday, Transit Friday and Saturday night. There's no better place to enjoy football and hockey with great drink and food specials for every game. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill since 1927. 4 generations strong, the only family to say we are the original. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Great food, great people, great beer.
2100 505-2100 or stop by 8215 Main Street in Williamsville today.
Town BMW is proud to be the official auto partner of UB Athletics and offers special pricing to UB students and employees.
Pricing, performance.
We got this, Coach. Join our hometown team and let's have a winning season.
We love our town.
Country music fans, get the VIP experience this fall during the Seneca Niagara Tailgate Concert Series at UB Football for only $36.
Ow, 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 ow.
This year's acts include Jared Neiman, David Nail, Chris Lane, Eddie Money, and more. Your VIP experience gets you front of the stage
10 seconds.
And game ticket. To order, log on to ubulls.com. It's country music, football, and tailgating. What else do you need?
Welcome back to UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold, live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway, right next to UB Stadium. Here's John Fuller.
Just a reminder, fans, this Saturday, UB kicks off MAC play home against Kent State. Homecoming Saturday, 3:30 kickoff at UB Stadium. Tickets are available by calling 1-877-UB there or visiting the UB ticket office or visiting ubulls.com. Come out, pregame concert by Eddie Money. Coach, I know you got to be excited about that. You got to be a big Eddie Money fan.
The Jefferson County Fair, John. That's right in my hometown of Jefferson, Wisconsin.
Yeah, heard a lot about Wisconsin.
They had Eddie Money, and he called me up at the last minute, had backstage passes, and I did not take out the opportunity.
Well, you're going to get a second chance.
I've got to try to figure out a way to get it done and be ready for the game on Saturday.
I'm sure we can make that happen for you. Well, let's talk about the game on Saturday. Kent State coming to town. MAC play begins. Does it feel like kind of a new season? You know, the non-conference is, out of the way. All those non-conference games out of the way, and now you can kind of start fresh. MAC play starts.
Yeah, I think anytime the way I've been in different conferences where sometimes you have a non-conference game in the middle of the season, and the way things are set up here, at least for this particular year, is nice where you get those 4 games, you get a chance, but really no matter how you come out of it, it's really what starts Saturday that's going to be the most important if we're going to have a chance to win the Eastern Division and have a chance to play for a conference championship.
You know, when you play a team like Kent State or MAC teams, is it different because Kent State knows UB. You kind of know each other's tendencies because you play them a little more familiar with them.
I think for this year coming, last year everything was so new to us as a staff that everything was like, first time around. So I think once you get into your divisional opponents, and if there's continuity within the staffs and they're not changing coordinator schemes, there's a little bit more familiarity. I think for some of our players it even might be, and I think that'll continue to kind of help with some of that comfort of knowing what teams do. But I think it's different when you get into conference play because it's exciting. And the thing that impressed me the most about last year was when you really look at our conference, it's really about how you match up against that particular opponent. And it is so balanced in so many ways that you always have a great chance to come out on top.
Yeah, but Kent State team coming in. It's got to still be a little hurting from last year's come from behind victory. Bulls pulled off an 18-17 last-second touchdown pass from Joe Licata to Matt Weiser. You think they're going to be a little chip on their shoulder when they come to town?
Well, I'm sure that was part of, this week if they've shown things. Probably what stings even more was, the loss last week in the last minute again. So I guess there's two common themes there between their Akron loss and ours, our two last-second losses. So they'll probably want to talk about finishing strong and holding leads and those things. But, Coach Haynes does a great job there. I'm sure he's got his team ready to play and moving on from that and worried about, finding a way to have his team prepared. And they will be. And now that they made a quarterback change and really kind of added another dimension to their offense, it'll be a good test for us.
Yeah, one thing I remember from last year's team is how good Kent State's defense was. Is that still the case this year?
Yeah, very good defense. 3 first-team all-conference players, all returning. Again, a good scheme. They've got the second lead national tackler in the nation, Nate Holly. I think that, and they are twins. I saw we were talking about that earlier off the air, but they are a challenge for us and for our offense, which has been very inconsistent at this time. It's going to be a huge challenge, and hopefully we'll find a way to get on track early.
Yeah, Nate Holly is the starting safety, second in the nation in tackles. Cleo Hodge, as a matter of fact, is third in the league in tackles, average about 12.5 tackles a game. Now, Nate Holly's brother, Nick Holly, was, I believe, a running back or a slot receiver for them, and they had a rash of injuries at the quarterback position, so he just got thrown into the game last week against Akron. He's done a really good job. What's the challenge of kind of going up against a quarterback that you don't really have much film on?
Not a lot of film on them. Really a lot of the other 4 games is not as useful as it normally would be as far as tendencies and calls and schemes. So now you've gone from having a 4 to 5 game breakdown of tendencies to really back to a 1 game. So it's almost like week 2 in that regard of what they're trying to do with him. They put together a plan in a very few days after making the decision to move him, after returning from Alabama, I believe. And now the question is, what are they going to add to that package now that they have a little bit more time with him being there?
Yeah, from what I've seen, he looks very athletic. He threw for 280 yards, I think, and 2 touchdowns, and then ran for another 120 yards. Is he a quarterback that is a run-first kind of quarterback, or can be multidimensional?
They're going to use a lot of the read option, the read zone read option, power read, empty sets and motion somebody across and do a lot of things. And their passing game will be off play action. And if something's not there, he's going to take off and run and make yards. So you got to make sure that you're keeping your eyes on him.
Okay. Well, like I said, Saturday is homecoming for the Bulls at UB Stadium. Kind of talk about just playing in homecoming games and just the excitement that surrounds the specialty of playing in a homecoming game.
Well, it's always it's one of those games that you hope to do, to put on a good performance, based for alumni pride. People come back and maybe haven't been back to campus for a long time. You've always tried to eliminate distractions during homecoming weeks for your team. We haven't really talked a whole lot about it yet, but our job is to play. Our part of a whole homecoming week is to make sure that the 3.5 hours that we get, kind of the spotlight on us, that we have a chance to perform well, and that's a big responsibility. I always say that in places there's a reason why homecoming is around a football weekend. And that's and it's important, and it's important for our guys to play well, and so the alums that do come back can head back home to wherever that may be, and hopefully buy a new sweatshirt and things and wear it with pride.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things going on this weekend for homecoming. On Friday night, there's a carnival free to the public, as well as fireworks and a bonfire on Friday night, and obviously the game on Saturday. Have you had a chance to get down to the Union? They have an old car down there and
really?
with a sledgehammer. You're welcome if you got a chance. Well, thanks for your time. We'll let you go.
Yeah, you got to get me off here because you got to carve out at least 15 to 20 minutes for Ishmael. He's ready to go, and he's eating right now. But after that,
he's
soon
ready.
back from commercial, he'll be ready.
He's excited. We'll have Ishmael Hargrove on next, junior linebacker. All right, well, thanks for your time, Coach. Well, good luck on Saturday, and we'll be right back. You're listening to UB Bulls Football Insider on ESPN 1520.
Country music fans, get the VIP experience this fall during the Seneca Niagara Tailgate Concert Series at UB Football for only $36.
Ow, 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 ow.
This year's acts include Jared Neiman, David Nail, Chris Lane, Eddie Money, and more. Your VIP experience gets you front of the stage access and game ticket. To order, log on to ubbulls.com. It's country music, football, and tailgating. What else?
Yeah, no problem.
Join us at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Hey, it's Paul Santora letting you know we have two great locations. One on Millersport on Friday, Transit Friday and Saturday night. There's no better place to enjoy football and hockey with great drink and food specials for every game. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill since 1927. 4 generations strong, the only family to say we are the original. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Great food, great people, great beer.
From U Sports to the NFL, A-Turf synthetic grass fields are helping athletes have fun and perform at their peak. More than 30 Western New York schools and over 400 schools nationwide call A-Turf their home field. It's what the UB Bulls play on and the Buffalo Bills too. A-Turf Titan has the highest safety and the longest warranty. A-Turf, optimal performance for athletes, superior value for owners. Learn more at aturf.com.
30 seconds, John.
This month at Town BMW, lease a 2016 BMW 320i X-Drive sedan for $275 per month. Only $275 per month. Call 505-2100, 505-2100, or stop by 8215 Main Street in Williamsville today.
Town BMW is proud to be the official auto partner of UB Athletics and offers special
10.
to UB students and employees.
Pricing, performance.
We got this, Coach. Join our hometown team and let's have a winning season.
We love our town.
Welcome back to UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold, live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway, right next to UB Stadium. Here's John Fuller.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Joined now by junior linebacker Ishmael Hargrove. How's it going, Ishmael? To the fall season. Just talk about what switch. Like, was there a switch that went off? Like, what happened that really got you to make that improvement, make that jump?
Yeah, well, as Coach was saying before. The first time they came there, or their first year, it was tough for me to, get adjusted to their system. And, I often struggled a few times during the previous spring of, assignments and being stronger in the weight room. And my speed was, I feel like I was just a little behind coming in. And, as you said, we did have a lot of face-to-face talks last spring. And so coming into this season, I felt that, it's time for me to step up, and especially with senior linebacker KJ Losey graduated, I felt like, this was a big opportunity for me. And so, it pretty much clicked to me that said, I got to get going. So pretty much after the end of last season, going into the spring, I had a sense of urgency going in, in the weight room, on the field, in the film room. I had a sense of urgency to tell myself to, push forward and keep going faster.
Yeah, it's interesting you say KJ Losey, because it's almost like he had that kind of the same type of season last year. I mean, it kind of clicked with him, and he went on to have an all-MAC season last year. What did you learn from KJ that's helped you this year?
I learned a lot. He's a great guy, man. He was when I first came here, he shadowed me, and I shadowed him. And coming in here, and so we've always had that connection. And previously, before the new coaching staff came, I was previously a safety, and so was he. So I was pretty much always in the shadow, and so I always sat back and just watched how he played, watched his style and things like that. And learning from him, pretty much sitting back and learning last year, he taught me a lot, and so I feel that this year come forward, I was able to. My confidence, skyrocketed after that, and I feel like I was able to fill in the shoes and, do my job on the defense.
Well, you've done a great job so far this season, as have all the linebackers. Just talk about the dynamic you guys have. I mean, Khalil Hodge leads the team.
We have a strong bond, especially with Khalil coming in during the spring. It was still, wasn't sure who was starting and things like that. So as things moved along, we felt a little clicking going on. And Khalil, he's he learned the defense, faster than I knew anybody else could have. So he's a great guy. He really stepped up big for us. And, with him, being the head of the defense, and then with Jay Frank on the other side, we pretty much all, found that click. And, once we got going, we kept it rolling.
Yeah, Khalil Hodge, to me, it's a nice surprise because obviously, he just joined the program in January. He had no idea what to expect, and he's just come in and he's just taken over. Obviously having a really good season. Just kind of talk about just what makes him go.
Yeah, Khalil, he's focused. I think that's one thing I can say about him. Ever since the spring when he came in, I could tell. There was something about this guy that he wants to make a difference, and so he definitely has done that. Goes in, we've been studying film and looking over a game plan, things like that. So I just feel that his focus and dedication is one of his strong suits. Along with being 240. So
yeah, well, that helps too, right? He's a big boy.
Yep.
All right, so you're a Cleveland native. Came here from Cleveland. When you play team like Kent State or any MAC school, because obviously you're from kind of the heart of the Mid-American Conference, do you have a lot of friends at other schools and on other teams around the league?
Yeah, definitely, especially in the MAC. I have, guys everywhere, Toledo, Kent State, Miami, Ohio, BG, so, pretty much the MAC, I know guys all over, so, going there back, pretty much all the teams are in Ohio. So, whenever you go have a away game that I know that I'm going up against, and I always look forward to it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those teams is Kent State, and that starts on Saturday. Starts Mid-American Conference play. Can I talk about just your excitement to get into MAC play, because it's different. You got non-conference out of the way, and now he's kind of pedal to the metal and power forward to try to win. Go to the MAC championship. Kind of talk about is this like a new part of the season now, kind of wipe the slate clean and let's go kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely more of a sense of urgency coming into MAC play. Right now we're 0-0, and that's how we're thinking about it. It all starts with being Kent State on Saturday.
All right, like I said, you're from Cleveland. You're a speech and hearing sciences major. I've never heard of that major. And talk about just kind of what that entails and why were you interested in that major?
Yeah, well, I was originally coming in an exercise science major, and just with the football schedule and just things, so much going on with football, I was kind of overwhelmed, and so I had to step back, just think about it. So I want to be in the medical field. I like the medical field, and that's one thing that always interested me. So moving on from my freshman year, I took a step back and just looked at my different options, and I seen that major looking around, speech and hearing science, and I just found it very interesting. So I went along with it, and moving forward, being my third year here, I love it. So moving in the future, I'm hoping to be an audiologist, and so hopefully after football, that could be my career path.
And what would that entail? Like, what is your goal? Being an audiologist, what exactly would that entail?
Well, it's basically, helping people with things like that. So pretty much the anatomy of speech and hearing. So, moving forward, I hope to learn a lot about that and keep learning about it, and hopefully move forward to my career and help me push forward and succeed in that aspect.
And do you have someone in your life that that has hearing issues? Is that what kind of drove you into this major?
Yeah. I have a few of my grandparents were deaf and partially deaf, not completely, but had a few hearing disabilities. So it's always been in my life. So this being a major for me, I feel like that kind of all fell in place. That's how I believe it. On the defensive side, I feel that we need to continue our excelling our run defense. I believe that our run defense has been our strength throughout the season, and I feel that we continue with that. Everything else will build upon it and will help us move forward. And so how we say it is, we don't, on the defensive side, we worry about what we can control. We don't point fingers, we don't blame things. We do what we control, and if we do that, we'll be fine. So.
Yeah, the defense to me, it seems like even though you have a lot of new faces, especially at the linebacker spot, it seems like it's like a very veteran group. A lot of leaders on that defensive side of the ball, up front. A lot of new faces on that defensive line, but everybody seemed to really gel quickly. You guys have that, you guys really get along and have gelled.
Right. Yeah. I definitely feel that we're bonding progressively. And I feel that year, pretty much all of us, I feel that, I'm very proud of how we've gelled together and how we've been able to work together as a collective unit. It's not just, one person here and there. I like how everyone, like you said, multiple people has tackles for loss on the team. So I like how everyone
feel good that everybody's kind of chipping in. Is not, you don't have to rely just on one person. Somebody's going to have your back.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
All right. Well, good luck to you on Saturday against Kent State. Again, 3:30 at UB Stadium, homecoming game. So expect to see everybody out there. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Coach Leipold as well as Ishmael Hargrove here for joining us tonight and for everybody for tuning in. Thanks again for listening to UB Football Insider. We'll talk to you next week.